Hello and welcome. In this video, I am going to share with you what I consider Revit Basics. So once you open the application, there is the Projects section and the Families section. Each section works with a certain number of extensions. So in order to clear that, let's make a quick presentation. Well, there is 4 main extensions: the RVT for the project, the RTE, the template of the project, the RFA for the family, and the RFT, the template of the family. Where a template is just a box of tools that you will need in order to accomplish your design. So let's move on and start a project based on an architectural template. Once you open the project, you will find under walls a bunch of walls that have been already defined, doors, and for example these components. All the families can be loaded from different categories that comes with Revit. This is the project browser and this is the properties panel. Once you select an object, the properties panel will display its properties, whether a view like a plan view or an elevation view. The essential part of a project is levels. In order to create them, you have to go to one of the elevations. You use the level tool. Now, you have to be attentive when using any tool in Revit, because there is a temporary bar that appears in green, as you can see. So first of all, we will define the types of views we will need. There is 3 of them: the plan view, the ceiling plan, and the structural plan. We don't need it, so we deselect it. So personally, I do not like to frame views at the beginning of any project, so I will do this now. Of course, this is optional. What I recommend is to unframe the 2 opposite views, the east and the west in this case, in order to eliminate the problems of the alignment of the level lines. Now, there is several ways to create levels using the level tool and drawing a level with create a view selected, and level 3 will appear both in the ordinary plan and the reflected ceiling plans. Now let's assume that you need a helping level, so you just uncheck create level and you will soon see the difference between the 2 symbols. The black symbol will not contain a view related, and the blue one is linked to a view that has been created already. Now if you want to create a view that is based on this level, you go to the view ribbon and select the view or the type of the view you want to create. In this case, we'll just create an ordinary plan and leave do not duplicate existing views checked and create the level. Another way to create levels is by copying existing ones. So select a level, use the copy command, move up or down, and the level will be created. And of course, the resulting level will not be listed in the project browser because the copy command do not create automatically views. Now let's come back to the plan view. Now let's create some rules. go to the architecture ribbon and choose wool. Choose whatever wool you want. I'm just going with the exterior brick 22 centimeters, and I will duplicate it. I'm just going to name it, and starting with an A and then masonry 25 centimeters. Please do remember to duplicate the existing rules when you are trying to create new ones, because any change you will do on the wall will reflect any instance in the project. Now let's edit the structure of this wall. This particular wall has just one layer. Let's add two new layers, and let's edit the function of one of the layers. Now, the labeling you see is not much important as the numbers that are associated with each function, as these numbers will define the priority when walls are joined. Of course, now we will adjust the thicknesses of each layer to end up with an overall thickness of 25 centimeters. Now defining the graphical aspect of this wall will be done through materials. Let's click on this little button to take us to the material navigator. As you can see, each material has an identity, a graphical appearance, properties, and eventually a physical and thermal data that can be used in energetic analysis. Of course, in this presentation, we will stick with the identity and graphical and appearance properties, the basic ones. Now, first of all, let's duplicate the existing material and try to rename it whether from the list or from the identity tab. Now, in the identity tab, you will find the name, description, and the classification of this material. This can be listed when trying to produce schedules of the material. Now let's move on to the graphical tab, where you can adjust the graphical aspect of the wall in the 2D views as a 2D element, of course. Where personally I prefer to adjust the color of the pattern, whether it is a surface pattern or a cut pattern, to a little bit a gray color in order to do not dominate the 2D view. You can adjust the rendering aspect of the layer through the appearance tab. Open the resources navigator and you can see the large number of resources available. There is the physical resources and the appearance resources. The appearance resources will not contain any thermal or physical properties. Now let's validate those changes and copy the material to the exterior layer and validate all this with double OK. Let's create this wall from its core exterior and create another wall, and then start the creation by clicking on escape. As you can see, the junction has been created automatically. Select one of them and go to modify, duplicate the existing wall, and we're going to create a compound wall containing finish layers. Click OK, edit structure, and insert two new layers. Move up one of them and downwards the other one. Adjust the appropriate thickness, and we're leaving out the material as it is by category. As you can see, the two exterior and interior finishes have been created. We will modify the other wall and leave it that way. Now select one of the walls and type CS to create an identical wall. Please do pay attention to the different methods presented in the toolbar, the temporary toolbar, for different ways of creation. Let's create this configuration and click escape. Hover over one of the walls and use tab to select all the walls. Change it to the essential wall we created earlier. Type WA for wall and then go to modify, duplicate and create a finish wall. Move down the finish layer and delete all other existing layers. Of course, there is the option of adjusting the material, but we will not do that in this case. Click OK, OK, and draw the wall using a co-finish interior. Now, as you can see, the problem of junctions within Revit walls is very problematic. So in order to fix this problem, as you can see when selecting the wall, we see that the object is reaching the center of the axis of the 45-degree wall. Now let's undo this last action and create or recreate the wall using CS in the keyboard or create similar and stopping the wall before reaching the corner. This will prevent the automatic junction and then continuing up and then going rightwards. Then drag the wall manually by holding the left mouse key until it snaps with the exterior face of the wall. Now let's create the interior finishes. Select the wall, type CS, select the right justification, which will be an interior finish core justification, and use the rectangle to flip the walls towards the interior by using the spacebar and finish the creation. Create another wall using the previous technique before and stop before joining the corner. Use trim and extend tool to join the walls and align the last wall using the previous technique by grabbing it manually or by the align tool like that, or by using the move command and snap it to the interior face. Now please do remember that each tool has its own temporary bar that will appear in this region. As you can see, within the move tool, within the copy tool, or within the rotate tool. This thin bar will present some options that you will need or will be useful for you. Please do remember that. Select a wall, create similar, and the thin bar will display some options for you. Of course, now we will delete these two walls as we don't need them. Now for the present time, we will try to see the behavior of each wall technique when trying to insert windows. So from the architecture ribbon, click on window and insert it on the wall, on the compound wall. Click on the little house icon to take you to the 3D view and examine the result. Now type WT to tile the two windows already open in the Revit session. This can be also accessible through View, Ribbon, and then Tile. Now select the window and then create similar and try to paste it or place it on the interior masonry wall like that. As you can see, the window has not cut the two finishing walls. This can be solved by attaching the walls. Let's use the attach command and the modify ribbon and choose the walls that has to be attached, and the window will cut the three layers as you can see now. Of course, the work hasn't finished yet because the window opening hasn't this wall wrap as in the compound wall. So in order to fix that, we need to create a finish wall at the height of the window to cover the brick wall. So in order to do that, we need to make notice of the wall of the window height and the sill height of the window presented in the instance parameters. So select the wall and create similar. Adjust its height to unconnected and type the correct height related to the window. Select this allow join and draw the wall. Now we will demonstrate why we created the wall using the disallow joint. Select the wall and create and delete it, recreate it, and allow the joint. And this is the problem you will face straight away. This is due to the window opening existing inside the family that is trying to cut the walls attached to the walls hosting the family, of course. Click cancel, and now let's try to fix this little problem presented in the window sill. Click on modify profile, select lines and select the slanted sill profile and join the lines to finish up with the close boundary. Validate this and you will fix the problem. Of course, the edge of the wall is appearing, and in order to fix that, use the attach command and the problem is fixed. So to summarize this Revit session, we had to look at the Revit extensions, different ways of creating levels, paying attention to the temporary toolbar, and creating walls, different types of walls, compound walls, and also single layer walls.